My name is Jemimah Nzola. I am a Kenyan girl, born in Kenya, raised in Kenya. I am a mother. I am married to an amazing guy called Eric Nzola. We are blessed with 3 children, Joy, Jeremy, and Jewel. So I remember my grandmother really loved God. She's the one who introduced me to Christianity. So every evening she'd call me to read the Bible for her because she was illiterate. So in a bid to just read for her, I started loving the Word of God. And within no time, I got to really learn more about God and about Jesus. And when I was in my 4th year of high school education, I gave my life to Jesus. Yeah, so that's how I came to know the Lord. I am a nutritionist, an author, and an entrepreneur. Yeah, and my entrepreneurial journey is a long one, but I am basically involved in any value addition for food stuff. Just good things that make people healthier. I'm really proud to be an African, and I love being an African, and I really think that it's a blessing to be in Africa and to be an African. So as a business lady in Africa, I've gone through, the whole 9 years of doing business, whereby you get to face the challenges, you get to face the wins and everything else. But the most amazing thing is I see a lot of possibilities in Africa. Many times people say that Africa has limited resources, but for me, what I believe is where there are a lot of problems, that is where you can get very many business ideas. I see a lot of very unique businesses that Africans can do. So in my journey, that's exactly what I've done. I always look at the needs of the people and ask myself, what is it that the people need? So sometimes the people really know what they need. Other times they don't know what they need. But I guess through just divine inspiration, we are able to know what we should offer to the market. And that's how I see business ideas. That's how I pick the ideas that I follow through and turn them into businesses. So there are so many opportunities in business for Africa, and especially even for whether it's a man or a woman in Africa. Now, definitely there are challenges. We always look at things like capital. When you're starting a business, you have this great idea. You need capital to introduce it to the market, to package, to source for raw materials, to employ staff and stuff like that. But many times the capital is really an issue. But for me, what I've learned to do is to start small, but think big. So always any business idea that I've had has been a very big idea. I call them God ideas because through normal eyes, it's not very easy to actualize. But what I do is I don't just fold my hands and wait for one day when I'll get a lot of money. I decide to start. I start from where I am. I start with the little resources that I have, and then the business grows organically. My business journey has been an interesting one. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I remember just before COVID hit, my business was soaring. I had great plans. One of my businesses is a juice business, fresh juice business. So I had a lot of plans. I knew we are expanding, we are growing, the market is ready for us because we specialize in offering fresh juices, all natural with no added preservatives. So it's very, very healthy drink. So I had set up a shop, the first one, and then I expanded to another one. And then just as after the expansion, COVID hit. And I remember now this place where I set up the second shop was very vibrant with very many people. It's a residential area. All of a sudden, people didn't have buying power. They couldn't buy the juices. But now what happened? It just turned around. I started getting very good ideas about how I can go about it. I decided to turn it into an online shop. So what happened is I marketed to different areas, even further than where the location of the shop is, and I started getting customers from far and wide. And interestingly, I think we really sold more than we had even anticipated. And the good situation is, again, still happened during the COVID season. I realized that there's a big market for healthy stuff. All of a sudden, people started caring about what they're eating, what they're drinking. And what I did now with my nutrition background, I started packaging very good healthy supplements, things that in normal setting people don't really use. But I started packaging and training people on how to utilize them. So that brought in a new line of business for us. Let's learn to just go through the process, to savor the moment, Let's have that big dream, but grow organically. Start small and just keep growing and keep moving. And I think the most important thing is never give up. Don't give up before you get to where you're going, So the vision must stay. The way to that vision might change along the way. I really believe that there is no physical life and spiritual life. It is one. We are spiritual beings, We just live in a physical body so that we can function in this world. Therefore, what I would inspire my fellow people is, let's focus on God. Let's seek to know who we are in God. What is God's plan for us? What is that grand thing that God created you to do? And go ahead and do just that. I do believe that God did not create junk. Nobody is useless. Everybody has something that they need to do while they're still on earth. So it's very important to just find time, discover it, go for it, and do that thing that God called you to do to the glory and honor of God. Yeah, because we are representing an excellent God. My husband and I are very passionate about inspiring people. What we normally say is we love to magnify possibilities for people. And what do we mean by that? We are showing people that it is possible to do things, that it is possible for you to become everything that God created you to be, that it is possible to be somebody. In the corporate world, they would say it's possible for you to get a seat at the table. So our foundation is about magnifying possibilities for African youth here. And what we focus on education, giving them education. So there are very many people from mostly upcountry or maybe from the slum areas who are privileged. They're bright, but they're not privileged enough to afford to go through their education. So those are the kind of people that we support. We also support environmental issues, and we also support well-being issues, that is health issues, just teaching people how to live well and to eat well and to take care of their bodies. The deep-seated problems of Africa, I really think that it is one of them is the fact that we undervalue ourselves. We don't appreciate who we are. Africa is the biggest continent with the most resources, but we just undervalue ourselves. I think we were brainwashed at some point, and we really tend to believe that. So we decided to just give up of everything that is African, our food, our lifestyle, our religion, and all these are really good things that can be integrated into modernity and bring very, very good positive changes to Africa and even to the world all over. Yeah. So I think one problem of Africa is that we undervalue ourselves. The other problem is maybe lack of access to resources, and it's just as a result of many other things like poverty, like corruption and stuff like that. So we have lacked resources. But I really believe that once you appreciate the little that you have and start growing it. It might take longer, but it will actually grow. And I believe that we should be proud to be African and just celebrate what we have and seek to grow it and take it out there to the world. Let the world know how beautiful we are, how beautiful Africa is, how beautiful everything we have is. Every individual should actually have short-term goals, medium-term, and long-term goals. So maybe I can say in my next 5 years, I see myself having streamlined everything, because we've been doing quite a lot. So I'm seeing myself having streamlined everything to be able to have a focus. Yeah. So as I said about our foundation, the 3 areas that we are focusing on, which is education, environment, and health. So that's the same way we want to do even in our other businesses, to just ensure that we are focusing on some specific things and creating a system around it, an infrastructure around it that will be passed on generations to come. I think it's very important to think generationally in whatever we are starting. It should not end with us. It might not continue to be the same way. It will improve, of course, with time and across generations, but it needs to continue. And one way to do that is by involving the younger generation in what we are doing now. Yeah, we shouldn't just insist on sitting on that at the helm, on the chair, that I am the one, I am the director, I am everything. It's very important to also introduce the younger ones. And that's why our foundation is called the Life Prep Foundation, because what we are doing to these young people is preparing them for life. Transformative. Earlier in life, I wanted to be a doctor, but I missed the entry mark by just 1 point. But that didn't water down my ambition. So I studied for something else, went ahead to work in the corporate world for a number of years, but I still had that desire to be a physician, to be a doctor. So at some point I decided, let me go back to school and study. And the easiest entry for me at that point was nutrition. Interestingly, as I continued with the research in nutrition, I realized that most diseases that people suffer from emanate from what they eat. So maybe you've heard the quote, "You are what you eat." It's for sure, you're what you eat, because that's where the diseases comes. Also, from what you eat is where your well-being comes. So you either get health from what you eat, or you lose health from what you eat. So I started studying our foods in Africa. And it's interesting how God created us. I think God knew our DNA, our composition as Africans, and actually placed us here. And around us, He placed all that we need. And within us, He gave us inspiration to just go out there and get exactly what we need. Apart from being a nutritionist, I'm also an author. My first title is here, The Gems of Healthy Living, that talks about all-rounded wellness, physical, financial, spiritual, mental, emotional, psychological, all those aspects of health. Many times people say that I am healthy if I look a particular way, or I am healthy if I'm able to do this. But I've realized that wellness is a sum total of all those areas. So that's what the book is about. It's an amazing book. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to live a fulfilled and fruitful life. And the book is available. You can get me on my social media handles on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and it is Jemimah Nzola on all those 3 avenues. And then apart from that, as a nutritionist, I run a practice. You can still get me through that if you need any consultation on matters nutrition. I would like to appreciate people who have worked with me in this journey. I've realized that you can actually not light a fire alone. You need other people to come and help you light it. I would like to appreciate Selam of African Vision Voices, who is an amazing young lady, and what I've seen about her, she really loves to magnify possibilities for people. So I am so grateful to her. She keeps encouraging me, speaking positively into my life, and opening up grand opportunities for me and even for other Africans.